chair across the desk, Part I. The entrance, the glass doors of Eastwell Dynamics slid open with a hush, letting in the heat of a summer day and a man who looked like he carried the weight of history on his shoulders. Jeremiah Cole, 33, dark-skinned, well-groomed, wore a fitted navy suit, and carried nothing but a worn leather folio. He had graduated top of his class at Georgia Tech, built tech for 3 Fortune 500 companies, and led a non-profit teaching code to kids in Atlanta's South Side. But today, he walked into this office as if he were stepping onto a battleground. Not because he was afraid, but because he knew, in places like this, he was often expected to fail. The receptionist gave him a glance, polite but clipped name, Jeremiah Cole. For the 11:30 product engineering lead interview, she blinked. "Oh, you're early." "Better to be early than overlooked," he said with a wry smile. Part I. The interviewer in the corner office sat Douglas Wren, 57, VP of Engineering. Pale, broad-shouldered, salt and pepper hair cut in military style. He'd built the company from its garage days into a $4 billion aerospace tech contractor, known for his sharp instinct, brutal candor, and a reputation no one spoke of out loud. He looked up from Jeremiah's RSUM, frowning slightly. When Jeremiah walked in, Wren's eyebrows twitched, not in surprise, but calculation. He stood, extended a hand, and said, "Mr. Cole." Jeremiah shook it firmly. "Mr. Wren." "Thank you for the opportunity," Wren motioned to the chair. "Let's get to it, Part. I. Subtext: the first half of the interview was professional, but cold. Wren challenged every answer. "Are you sure that approach scales? How would you handle a junior engineer who disagrees with you? Do you think you're qualified to lead people who've been in this industry longer than you've been alive?" Jeremiah remained calm. He'd heard these tones before, the ones that questioned not the mind, but the right to belong. "Still," he answered precisely. "Technically, confidently." Then came the pause. A silence thick as syrup. Wren looked at him, long and hard. "I'll be blunt," Wren said. "I've had people walk out of this office calling me old-fashioned. One guy called me a dinosaur with a country club brain. And I don't give a damn. What matters to me is the job. Results." Jeremiah leaned forward. "I'm here for results, sir." "Not comfort," Wren chuckled. "I like that, but then," with a breath that felt rehearsed, Wren said, "You know, when I saw your RSUM, I thought, huh? I didn't expect. I mean, to be honest, I assumed Jeremiah Cole was." Different. Jeremiah stared. Different. How Wren hesitated. The tension was visible then. Wren said something no one expected. "I was wrong. And I'm sorry." Silence. Jeremiah blinked. He'd expected coded language, microaggressions, maybe even dismissal. But this, a direct apology, Wren continued 30 years ago. "I wouldn't have even interviewed you. That's the ugly truth. I grew up in a town where black men didn't run engineering teams. They worked in garages. I carried that with me for too long. But the world's changed. I'm trying to catch up. And you're better than most I've seen." Jeremiah could have walked out right then. With dignity. With fire. He could have tweeted it, turned it into a think piece. But instead, he said, "I'm not here for apologies. I'm here to build things that fly." Wren smiled, almost sadly. "Then let's build Part IV." Aftermath. 3 weeks later, Jeremiah was offered the job. But before he signed, he made one request. "I want mentorship access for junior engineers from underrepresented backgrounds. A pipeline that actually opens doors, not just window dressing for a diversity report." Wren didn't flinch. Done 6 months later, Jeremiah's team delivered a new avionics module that cut flight costs by 12%. He was featured in Tech Frontiers as the quiet reformer, but he didn't care about headlines. What mattered was this: there were now 4 black engineers in Eastwell's program. 2 Latina interns, 1 non-binary coder from Tulsa, all sitting in rooms they were never supposed to enter, and in the same office where it started. Ren the chair across the desk. Because sometimes, the real power isn't in standing up. It's in who gets to sit down at the table and stay.